Previously on Helen Productions.
The Snyder Cut could be bad, it could be good, it could be complete and utter dog shit, but it will still be miles better than what we got in the theaters. And the reason for that is because it will be under one man's vision, and that's Zack Snyder's. Well, at least I can say that I was right. Welcome back to Helen Productions. I'm Joel Kellen. I just got back from watching the Snyder Cut of Justice League. It just dropped today on HBO Max, so I decided to watch all 4 hours of it just right then and there. These are just my quick thoughts on it. I'm not giving away any spoilers because it just came out. So this video is going to be significantly shorter than my review of the theatrical cut of Justice League. But there's really not much for me to say. Like I just said in the intro, the Snyder Cut is miles better than the theatrical cut. We finally get to see Darkseid. We get a lot more character development with pretty much everybody involved. Victor has a lot more scenes with his father. I remember in my theatrical cut review, I did say that there was one scene that I liked with Victor and his dad, which unfortunately they cut it out, but they do insert a lot of other moments where Victor and Silas are just talking with each other. So they at least make up for that. The other two scenes that I said that I fully liked from the theatrical cut, they do keep those in. They are a little bit altered though, which is fine with me. They actually make Batman useful, and I believe there is one scene where he does at least try to fight the parademons in just hand-to-hand before he has to resort to his gadgets. So at least he doesn't like show his over-reliance on gadgets like right from the start of the theatrical cut movie, like he did in that. All the characters, again, like they all have their own development. They do keep that one scene of Wonder Woman stopping the bombing, like in the theatrical release, but I do think that they should have connected it more to the story, in my opinion. And I know that it's supposed to be like those day in the life situations, this film, as far as I know, it happens shortly after Superman's death from Batman v Superman, and they're trying to show like how the entire world copes with that. But I still think that the bombers should have been that one team in the comics who works closely with Darkseid. If I'm right, the name of their group was called Intergang in the comics, where they're basically street level thugs who go up against Superman, but they use like apocalyptic tech from Darkseid. So that could have been a nice segue into like introducing the threat of Darkseid and Steppenwolf. Batman doesn't make as many jokes, which is perfectly fine. Barry shows that he can be witty and smart at the same time, which was sorely missed from the theatrical cut. Superman is great. It was nice seeing him wear the black suit in this film. Steppenwolf is a significant threat. Like all those things that I mentioned in the theatrical cut, where like the parts that I did like about him, such as he had a few good quotes in the film, and he had a few good moments, like when he was just completely tearing apart the Amazons with the Atlanteans. Like they took those actually good moments from the theatrical cut, and they dialed it up to 11. Like you can actually see Steppenwolf just cutting them in half, chucking horses around. He's freaking slamming Atlanteans into like these rock formations so hard that that the back of their head just bursts open and blood is just coming out everywhere. Like they really earned the R rating in terms of violence and blood, in my opinion. There were a couple things that I didn't like that like did persist from the theatrical cut, which, like I said, Batman's reliance on gadgets. Although again, it is explained. Like he does try to fight them in hand to hand, and the parademons, being that they're like otherworldly, he kind of has to resort to gadgets. But they at least didn't have that one opening scene where he relies on his gadgets to fight like a single mugger. There was another thing that I didn't really like in the theatrical cut, where like everybody's just throwing around the fact that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and they not only do it to him still in the Zack Snyder cut, but they also there is a scene where like they also do it to Superman too, where Batman is just calling him Clark out in the open. So now like a couple random people know that Clark is Superman now. That one selling point that Zack Snyder had, where Batman drops an F-bomb. When I first heard about that, I was not on board with it. But once I saw the film, and given the situation that Batman is put in, I do kind of understand under like certain circumstances on why he would say it. Because like about a month ago, I would have said that the only way I could see him doing it is if he was in like his Bruce Wayne billionaire playboy persona and just like playing it up. But now he just full on says it in the Batman suit. And like I said, given the situation and like what exactly they're going through at the moment, it is a little bit understandable, I suppose. There were a couple times where I did think that the story did go on a little bit long, but other than that, it really was a fun ride all the way through. I'd say those 4 hours were well spent. The only real other thing that I can think of that I still don't like is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. That post-credit scene at the end of the theatrical cut that has like Deathstroke in it, they do keep that in, and they actually lengthen it out a bit, and they do change around the character's motivations for a bit. But that doesn't change the fact that I still do not like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. The fact that Zack Snyder is directed this version of Justice League does not change that fact. I still don't think that he was a good casting choice. Oh, and again, I guess the only other thing that I was a little bit iffy on was Zack Snyder's choice of music. And most of the time, it's fine. But there were a couple scenes, like there is one scene involving the Flash, and another scene involving Aquaman, where they use these really old-fashioned songs, I guess I could call them that. And it just didn't work for me. And maybe it worked for other people, but I just did not like the music playing over them. And I've noticed that that's a little bit of a trend with Zack Snyder's films. Like take for instance Watchmen. I didn't like the scene where they played Hallelujah. I didn't like it then, and I don't like his choice of songs now. But that's just my opinion. In fact, the only time I ever liked the song Hallelujah being played over like a superhero movie was, ironically, the trailer for the Snyder Cut, mostly because of how hilarious it is. I guess the final thing that I can really say on this without really spoiling it was Jared Leto's inclusion as the Joker. He's only there for a few minutes, and those who have seen the trailers they know exactly which part he's in, but he plays the Joker pretty different than how he was in Suicide Squad, where when I saw it, I was wondering like, well, where was this acting? But those are just my quick thoughts on the film. I might do like a more in-depth review, like I did with the theatrical cut, like in a month or so. Just gonna wait for everybody else to watch the film. But other than that, those are just my thoughts. So what are you guys still listening to me for? Go on HBO Max and definitely see the film. You will not be disappointed.